This is yoga because this is union with the eyes. Yoga originally was the word union. There's so many disciplines within yoga, hatha yoga and many others. This is a union with your eyes. You unite with your eyes. You learn how they're stressed, you teach them to relax. You learn how you lose peripheral use of the eyes, you teach yourself to bring it back. You learn how you look in a frozen way all the time at the computer. You don't go to the optometrist to get special glasses to freeze even more the computer. You blink. You open your eyes. You look at the periphery. You look far away and you pay attention to the movement of the print of the computer, and you don't try to focus in a very frozen way. So the whole point is you unite with your eyes and you take care of them. They're precious.
Meir Schneider was born legally blind. By the time he was 7 years old, he had undergone 5 operations. The surgeries removed most of his cataracts, but shattered his lenses and created dense scar tissue. He could see only light, shadow, and indistinct shapes. Meir had to do all of his schoolwork in Braille. Yet today, Meir Schneider is licensed to drive a car, without the help of glasses or contact lenses. Yoga for Your Eyes will teach you the same exercises he used to gain functional eyesight and healthy eyes. These simple routines are based on the work of Dr. William Bates, a turn-of-the-century American ophthalmologist who discovered the connection between the eyes and the mind. Dr. Bates challenged conventional medical views about eyesight, views that still guide the practice of ophthalmology today. Most doctors still treat our eyes as isolated organs that can never improve once they begin to fail. William Bates created holistic vision improvement and demonstrated that your eyes can grow stronger and healthier when you learn how to take care of them. The exercises in Yoga for Your Eyes can be organized around 3 basic principles: relaxation, strength, and flexibility. These exercises will help you avoid eye strain, improve your peripheral vision, strengthen your weaker eye, and balance the use of both eyes together. You'll learn to perceive greater contrasts, create a more flexible gaze that moves with ease and clarity between near and distant objects, and notice smaller details in everything you see. Do not wear glasses or contact lenses while doing these exercises. The more you do the exercises, the less you'll need corrective lenses of any kind. However good or poor your vision, you can strengthen your eyesight measurably by regularly practicing Meir Schneider's Yoga for Your Eyes.
I'm so happy to welcome you to the real exercises. I want to share them with you. They were so effective with so many people for 26 years. A very major decision has to be made by you. You must take away your glasses or your contact lenses. I know that many of you are attached to them. But for the purpose of eye exercises, please take them away. Don't compare your vision without the lenses to the one that you have with the lenses. Nurture your fuzzy vision and work with it. We will do many exercises indoors and even more exercises outdoors. And what's so important is that you will have high morale and a good mood. Have a lovely experience. The first exercise that is very effective in relaxation is palming. In the Bates literature, the most that one of his patients ever palmed was 20 hours in one day. I myself palmed once for 11 hours, and right after that I got my driver's license after reading Braille in the beginning of my life. What I want to show you through demonstration is that it's important to relax the body before you palm. So when you sit and palm, you can really contemplate pure and complete physical and mental relaxation of the eye and complete relaxation of the optic nerve. This is the base and the foundation for your total visual improvement. Palming is an exercise, and so it's an option. And if palming doesn't work for you, you can sit in a dark room and visualize darkness and blackness. But if it does work for you, it's a very good exercise. It's very different than sleep, because sleep is a passive, unconscious rest, which we cannot do without. But palming is a conscious rest that helps you see exactly how tense you really are. In fact, with every true practice of relaxation, you learn about your true tension. First, relax your body. Tony, if you don't mind, intertwine your fingers and move the arms in rotating motion in both directions. Breathe deeply in and out through your nose to your abdomen. Many people inhale through their mouth. Don't do that. And don't even exhale through the mouth. Just inhale and exhale through your nose. And that slows down your breathing and helps oxygenate your blood. Now, please stand up and put your hands against the wall. We're not arresting you or anything. Move your chest forwards and backwards. Only move the chest. The elbows are straight. The hips are not moving. Only the chest moves back and forth. And you do it for around 12 or 15 times. You breathe deeply. You breathe slowly. Even though the hips move a bit, you don't make them move. It's only the chest that moves. And when you move forwards, you can move your head from side to side all the way. Stay forwards and move your head all the way from side to side. Side to side. And when you move backwards, stay backwards and move your head all the way from side to side. The chest muscles and the rib muscles and the shoulder muscles support the neck and the arms. And they must relax for the palming to be successful. So if you had a long drive, a long airplane flight, or you were sitting for a long time, start by walking backwards, by moving your shoulders in rotating motion. Don't start immediately by palming, and then do this exercise of moving the chest forwards and backwards to make sure that your upper body is completely relaxed and is ready for the exercise. Now, you can stand in the opposite way and intertwine your fingers and move the arms in rotating motion in both directions. And you can probably feel that your arms are loose now. Am I correct about that?
Yes.
And the reason is that the chest and the upper back are opponents of the arms muscularly, and when you loosen them, it's much easier to move the arms. Now, intertwine your fingers and put your palms forwards and move the arms in rotating motion in both directions and in the opposite direction. And it's very important for us to loosen the arms, the shoulders, the upper back before we sit down and palm, because it's going to be very easy for tension to ensue. Palming is such an important exercise, and we must do it right. Now let's put the table forwards and the chair. And first of all, rub your hands until they're warm. Rub them, rub them, rub them, rub them, rub them until they become really, really warm. Rub the fingers till they become warm. And if you want to put some cream on your fingers, and especially if they're dry, that's very welcome. But make sure the fingers are warm. In fact, rub the hands as if you wash them. Stretch your arms upwards to make sure they're really loose. And by the way, take your watch off. And if you have a ring, take your ring off as well, so blood will flow at a great ease in your hands. Rub the fingers in between them, intertwine them and interlace them. And then rub your hands again. And right now, close your eyes ever so gently, as if you're just going to sleep. Put your palms around your eye orbits. Put your palms around the eye orbits. Lean against the table, but don't bend much. In fact, you can lean with a straight posture. Breathe deeply, in and out. Again, it's very important for you to put no pressure against the cheekbone. It's important for you to put the hands very gently around the cheekbones to make sure that the eyelids are closed but not firmly, and let the mind visualize as if you're seeing darkness and even blackness. Pay attention to your breath. Your breath is your vehicle for relaxation. Breathe deeply in, breathe slowly out, in and out through your nose. Feel that your abdomen and your waist are expanding as you inhale and are shrinking as you exhale. Feel that your ribs and your chest and the upper back are expanding as you inhale and are shrinking as you exhale. Feel that your neck is expanding as you inhale and shrinking as you exhale without any tension. Visualize that your head expands as you breathe in and shrinks when you breathe out. And the whole upper body expands when you inhale and shrinks when you exhale. As you breathe, visualize that your arms are expanding and shrinking, expanding when you inhale and shrinking as you exhale. As you breathe, visualize that your hips and thighs are expanding as you inhale and are shrinking as you exhale. As you breathe, visualize that your knees are expanding as you inhale and shrinking as you exhale. Visualize that your calves are expanding as you breathe in and shrinking as you breathe out. And visualize that your feet are expanding as you inhale and shrinking as you exhale. And visualize that you're seeing complete darkness, and if possible, even blackness. I remember that in the first 2 months of my practice, I couldn't even see dark. But when you see darkness, it can help you rest in a very deep way. This is the difference between palming and sleep. When you palm, you know exactly how unrelaxed your eyes are, how unrelaxed and irritable your optic nerve is. When you're asleep, you're too passive to know that. Now you'll know by the level of darkness or blackness whether your eyes are relaxed or whether they are tense. Keep breathing and feeling that the whole body expands as you inhale and shrinks as you exhale. You can now visualize that you're seeing a waterfall or a boat sailing in an ocean. You visualize it's night, and you can only see the sail in a very fuzzy way in the dark of the night. the waves appear to be very dark, and visualize that the boat is sailing in a figure of 8. It's sailing away from the shore and towards the shore. It's sailing in a figure of infinity, horizontally from side to side, straight and diagonal, diagonal and straight. And that image can disappear and you can see a train moving in an 8 shape. And then you see black, complete black. Every image disappears and you breathe deeply in and out. Inhale and exhale through your nose. But now open your mouth all the way. Open your jaw all the way to just relax the tension in your face. Breathe deeply in and out and visualize that your house is black, your city is black, and slowly, slowly your whole continent and your whole world becomes black. Just stay with that thought for a moment and breathe deeply and slowly. You visualize that the stars are black, the sun is black, just to eliminate any thought of light and to relax the optic nerve. Now return back to your house, return back to your body. Take away the blackness from the room and take away the blackness from your body. And take away the blackness from the eyes and slowly take your hands off. Now, rub your hands. And massage around the eyebrows and the cheekbones. And there's 2 ways to massage the eyebrows and the cheekbones. One way is from the ridge of the nose to the temple. The other way is from the nose to the ear. To unsquint the eye. We tend to squint when we strain to look. This whole program will teach you how to look at anything at any time without any strain. Whether you see letters or objects, whether it's at night or in the daytime, we need to not strain. So you massage around the eye orbits and the cheekbones. And keep breathing deeply. And if you have residue of that thought that your whole body expands as you inhale and shrinks as you exhale, that's a good residue. Don't let it go. Just breathe. The next motion is in circles. Massage the little grooves that you may feel behind your eyebrows in the frontal bone. And all the grooves that you may feel in the cheekbones. You may find some sore spots. Don't make them even more sore by pressing on them, but massage them gently and in rotating motion all the way. So from the nose all the way to the temples. From the nose all the way to the ears in rotating motion. We breathe deeply and slowly. And then we massage gently around the eyebrows and the cheekbones. The eyebrows and the cheekbones. From the nose to the temples. From the nose to the ears. And you can do it much longer than we're doing it now. Believe me, it can only pay off. Do it several times a day. Now, let's talk about blinking. There is a big difference between blinking and squinting. When you squint, you tighten the eyes. But when you blink, you open and you close the eyes real gently. And you think as if the eyelashes are opening and closing the eyes. So Tony, when you open and close the eyes, visualize as if the eyelashes are doing the work of opening and closing. It sounds almost magical. But if you think that way, you stop yourself from frowning and squinting as you peripheralize those muscles. Feels nice, doesn't it?
Yes.
One other wonderful exercise is to massage the eyelashes, just so you will give yourself the order, the controlling order, that the local eyelid muscles are doing the work and not the forehead muscles doing it. I remember that once in my training course, when we did an exercise on kinesthetic awareness, I asked from people to feel how much strain can there be in their face and head when they blink with their eyelids in a strenuous way. Some of them felt strain even in their neck and shoulder. Truth of the matter is, we don't even know how much we strain and how harmful it is. It's important to blink frequently. One lady who came to me with retinal detachments had in her chart written by very known ophthalmologist, "This woman is not blinking." I asked her to blink, and the blinking exercise helped her gain a lot of it back.
When you begin to do the exercises on yoga for your eyes, you may experience an immediate improvement in your vision. You can measure your continuing progress by taking a moment right now to mark your starting point. To do this, you may use a traditional eye chart or make your own. Use flowers, leaves, symbols, clip art from your computer, or any other images you like. Just arrange them in rows so that each row gets progressively smaller as you move down to the bottom of the page. Hang your chart at a distance where you can see only part of the chart clearly. Begin reading each line, starting at the top of the chart. Continue as far down as you can, then mark the last row you can see clearly. As you continue exercising your eyes, you'll use this point to measure how much your vision is improving. To do this next exercise, you'll need 3 rectangles of black construction paper. The first should be 1.5 by 2.5 inches. The second should be 2 inches by 3.5 inches. And the third should be 2 inches by 5 inches. A double-overed piece of adhesive tape in the middle of each rectangle will allow you to attach it to the point between your eyebrows, or at the top of the bridge of your nose. You will use these tools to strengthen your peripheral vision and balance the use of both eyes together.
We're going to use several instruments in our work. Very easy instruments to use. And this is a good introduction, and you can yourself innovate and invent a lot of other instruments. This is a small piece of paper we put between the eyes to simply block central vision. With this, we'll block even more central vision. With this, we'll block even more central vision. We're using the chart, and we're using a page with different size print. By the way, don't be slaves of this practice. This is just a suggested practice. If you adopt the same principle with other exercises, you will do just as well for yourself. Let's start, Tony, by maybe we should move away from the chart, now that you know exactly what you see, and move your chair opposite than the table, or should I move the table away? Maybe I should move the table away. And put this little paper between your eyes. Effectively, you block your central vision. Wave your hands to the side, and when you wave your hands, you are stimulating the rods which are specialized in peripheral and night vision. In the past, people used to sit in amphitheater and have 360 degrees of vision. Today, our peripheral vision has been diminished. We hardly walk at night. We hardly see stars and moons these days. And it takes about 40 minutes of a night walk to wake up the rods of the eyes. If you know a friendly environment, walk for about an hour and 10 minutes, so you'll have half an hour of waking up those rods. And the next thing I want you to do, Tony, is wave your hands and move your whole body up and down as you wave the hands, just to create more and more stimulation to those rods. Of course, one thing that you can do is run with this paper between your eyes and wave your hands to the side. And I used to do it. I used to even bike, but with a smaller piece of paper, and everybody was laughing, of course, but it really helped me start and use my two eyes together. If you use both hands from the two sides, you will have a good peripheral vision. Let me show you something. If you look at the finger in front of you, if you close one eye, the finger moves into one direction. If you close the other eye, it moves to the other direction. But if you open both eyes without moving your finger, it seems to be in one place. One eye can easily dominate the other. If you close the right eye, it moves to the right. You close the left eye, it moves to the left. So the right eye looks a bit left and the left looks a bit right, and quite often one eye will dominate the other eye. We want no eye to dominate. When you put your two hands in the periphery, no one eye can see what the other eye sees. When you close the one eye, you can only see one hand. If you close the other eye, you can see the other hand. That's why we're starting to use the periphery, beside the fact that we want to integrate cells that we never use with this practice. Now, put the middle size page and wave your hands to the side. Wave your hands to the side, and now effectively you're blocking your central vision even more, and you're waking up peripheral cells you normally don't pay attention to. They're there, but they're dormant, they're latent. Now move your whole body up and down, up and down, up and down. Move your whole body up and down. And this way, you really activated your periphery. But you know, we can even do better. Let's take the middle size off and put the larger size on, and wave your hands to the side. Move above and below. Above and below. Pay attention to what you're doing now. You are blocking your central vision completely. You cannot see centrally. And don't strain to look at the paper. Just look at it with a soft eye. Don't focus on it. Just look at it, and your brain will focus on the periphery. So you wave your hands from below, you wave your hands from above, you wave your hands from the side, and you move up and down. 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 And now, rub your hands as you keep moving your head up and down. Rub your hands. Move the head up and down. And now palm. Put your hands around your eyes. Just for 3 deep breaths. And by the way, you can do it at any time. Just palm for 3 deep breaths. But this time, we're palming in order to widen the pupils and to activate more of our peripheral cells that are only active in the dark. Now take your hands off and wave them and wave them. Do you have a sense more of the periphery of the room? Mm-hmm. Good. Now move your whole body up and down, up and down, up and down, all the way down, all the way up. This is a wonderful exercise, not only for good vision, but against pressure in the eye. It can help prevent glaucoma and many other eye disease. Now let's take this off and put this on. And wave the hands to the side. Wave the hands to the side. Wave your hands to the side. And I'll give you the small piece of paper. And wave your hands to the side. And there's a question I want to ask you. Does the small piece of paper seem to be smaller to you right now?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting? What's interesting about it is that the field of vision have grown. And so in relationship to the field, the small paper seemed to be smaller. Now, let's palm for a minute and we'll start the following exercises. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Feel how the abdomen expands as you inhale and feel how it shrinks when you exhale. Feel how the waist and the lower back are expanding as you inhale and feel how they shrink when you exhale. Feel how the ribs are expanding as you inhale and how they shrink as you exhale. Feel how the head expands as you inhale and feel how it shrinks when you exhale. And slowly take your hands off. Now, Tony will do the following exercises. Turn to the chart again. And look at it. How does it look to you now, by the way?
It's
the same as before, right?
Actually, it's clearer than before.
It's clearer than before. Wonderful. Wonderful. Can you read this line?
Yes.
How about this one?
Yes.
Oh, that's progress.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Now, what we want to do is as follows. We want to put the small piece of paper in front of your strong eye. And by the way, how do you measure if you have a weak or a strong eye? You have the most natural way of doing it. You cover one eye and you measure it. Then you cover the other eye and you measure it. Although it's most likely that quite a few of the people at home know exactly which eye is stronger and weaker. Okay? Put the piece of paper between the eyes and wave in front of the right eye, in your case, and read with the left eye, which is the weaker eye in your case. This gives the left eye a chance to be the one that is looking at the letters. Now, the left eye, of course, doesn't see as clear as the right, does it?
No.
No. Can you see this line?
Yes.
Can you see this line?
No.
No. Can you see the spaces between the letters in this line?
Yes.
Can you see the spaces between the letters in this line?
Yes.
Can you see the spaces between the letters in this line?
No.
So, Tony can see two lines. Underneath the one that he can read, he can see the spaces between the letters. And the same will be with you. You may be able to see 6 or 7 lines underneath the one that you can read. And the lowest line you look at is the one where you can still see the spaces between the letters. That is shifting. Looking where you can still see, but not clearly, smaller details than the ones that you normally tend to look at. Let's do the last exercise before going outside. We need to stretch the eye muscles because in many ways they affect the size of our eyeball. Tony, could you please turn around on your chair? And the exercise is as such. Put your hand on your forehead to make sure that you don't tighten the forehead to do the exercise. Look up to the ceiling. Look to the side. Look down. Look to the other side. Look down. Look to the other side. And look up to at the ceiling. So you move your eyes in rotating motion. And you move them from side to side. And you breathe deeply and slowly. You keep moving your eyes in rotating motion and from side to side. As you do that, you are stretching your muscles in your orbits. Keep moving the eyes in rotating motion in both directions. Move them and move them and move them. And breathe deeply and slowly. Breathe deeply and slowly. If you sense that somewhere is hard for you to move your eyes, like for example up, or up to the right, or up to the left, stay there and move your eyes from side to side right there. Now rub your hands and palm. We went through a series of exercises which are good especially for near and far-sighted people. There are many more exercises to do, but this is a wonderful introduction to what you need to do to improve your vision. Dedicate yourself to these exercises, and you may find that your vision is improving with time.
Many older people suffer loss of their central vision. This is because the area near the middle of your retina, called the macula, tends to weaken after years of overuse. The exercises that follow will reactivate the macula, improve your peripheral vision, and balance the use of your two eyes together. Because we spend most of our waking hours focused on nearby objects, like computer screens, books, and television, our ciliary muscles must strain to keep the lenses rounded. When we look into the distance, these muscles relax and the lenses become flatter. In cultures in which people spent much of their time looking into the distance, most individuals had keener eyesight than we do, and their gazes were softer. In our culture, we are more likely to focus rigidly on specific objects, and we keep this hardness in our gaze when looking into the distance. In addition to reactivating the macula, the following exercises will strengthen the ciliary muscles and help you focus accurately at any distance. The healthy eye continually moves from one small area to another, so that the macula, the tiny area in the center of the retina that is capable of detailed vision, can briefly gather information in each one of these areas. Like the dots that make up a photograph in the newspaper, these details add up to an accurate picture of the whole image. When your vision begins to deteriorate, the movement of the macula slows down. Your eye is no longer able to take in all of the visual information available, and what you see starts to appear fuzzy. Shifting is a technique Meir Schneider teaches to restore the natural movement of the eye. In the following exercises, Meir and Tony will show you how to retrain your eyes to shift more efficiently, freeing them to register the finer details in your visual field.
Let's start by looking at each other's faces. When I look at you, Tony, I look at your nose. I look at your mouth. I look at your chin. And Tony, since you see better than me, when you look at me, you can look at the tip of my nose. You can look at each nostril. You can look at each part of my forehead, at the hair that blows in the wind, whatever is left of it, yeah? At my chin, at my lower lip, at my upper lip, at one cheek, at the other cheek, and you look at parts of it. So when you look at anything, without losing at all the sense of periphery, you do see all the background in this outdoors. But at the same time, you are focused only on one single area. And clear vision is exactly that. The macula is so small that it's not even 1% of the size of the whole retina. Let's look at something really, really pleasant, like a flower. Isn't it beautiful? Can you help me describe what we're seeing here, Tony? We're looking at the petals in general, and we're looking at the veins, right? Mm-hmm. Any more description you have?
I can see the stem and the purple center of the stem, and the leaves around it, pinkish color, and with a greenish center of the leaves.
And the more you look at it, and the more you look at parts of those leaves, the clearer the flower becomes, doesn't it?
Yes.
Great. And exactly the same way we can do shifting by looking at details. For example, when you look at this page, Tony, you can take a look at it. Take a look at the large print of the page. And you can see that you can see them pretty well from this distance, right?
Right.
Take a look at them from where it's fuzzy to see them. For example, this distance. Mm-hmm. And you look at the letters in such a way as if you are writing them. As if you had ink and you blackened each one of those letters. And you look from letter to letter, from ink to ink, from print to print. Now close your eyes and visualize that the letters are black and the page is white. And if it is hard for you to visualize that, say it. Say 3 times. The letters are black, the page is white. The letters are black, the page is white. The letters are black, the page is white. Open your eyes. Is it a bit easier to look at those letters?
Yes.
Now take a look at the second column without changing the distance. Very important. Don't change the distance and don't strain to see anything. Look at the spaces between the words. Look at the spaces between the lines. It's very important that when you don't see something clearer, you don't try to see it clearer, just look at what you can see. So you see the spaces between the words, you see the spaces between the letters. Close your eyes and say, the ink is black, the page is white. 3 times.
The ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white.
And open your eyes. And if you can see it without saying it in your eye mind, then just do that. How does it look to you? Does it look to you with more contrast?
Yes.
Now let's take a look at the third column and see the spaces between the words and see some spaces between letters. Can you see some spaces between letters?
Yes.
Now close your eyes and say, the letters are black, the page is white.
The letter is black, the page is white.
The letters
are black, the page is white. The letter is black, the page is white.
Open your eyes and take a look at the letters. And you can see that the spaces between the letters are a bit clearer. Mm-hmm. Now let's take a look at the lower letters. And there it's very hard to read anything, but you can take a look at the spaces between the words, spaces between the letters, spaces between the lines. And again, close your eyes. And those of you who have imagination, you don't have to say it out loud. And those of you who have a hard time imagining, say, the ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black and the page is white. The ink is black and the page is white. The ink is black and the page is white.
Now open your eyes and see if you see greater contrast between the page and the ink.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now look back at the big print. And how does that big print look?
Much better than before.
Wonderful. And all you need is an improvement. And you're going to see that right here in the bright daylight, and especially if your page is in the sun and if you're in the shade, that will give you a very clear vision. Right now, let's work on balancing the eyes. A great stress for the eyes is the fact that they're not balanced, that one eye sees way better than the other eye. And it's very important to make sure that the two eyes are working together. So, let's start with the flower again. How do the details of the flower look to you?
Looks okay.
Can you describe me what you see?
Again, the petals, the stems, and the leaves of the flowers, different colors.
Now close your strong eye, which is, in your case, your right eye. Could be, in your case, left or right. Okay? Cover it. And how does the flower look to you now? Can you still follow the details?
Yes, but less clear.
Less clear. Describe them then.
You can still see the green stems and pinkish leaves.
Wonderful. Now open both eyes. And how does the flower look right now?
It's clear with both eyes.
It's clearer, isn't it?
Yes.
So now, what we're going to do is put a small piece of paper between the eyes. And what you'll do is take any piece of paper that you can fold into four, put this paper in front of your weak eye, and wave with this paper in front of the strong eye. So you wave with one paper in front of the strong eye, while with the weak eye you're looking at the paragraphs. I want you to look at the spaces between the words. Put it in an uncomfortable area. Do you see the spaces between the words?
Yes.
Can you read the words?
Barely.
Barely. That's exactly where you want it to be. Now close your eyes. And while you visualize that you're waving the page in front of the strong eye, and you don't have to do it when you are visualizing it, just visualize it. Then visualize that the letters are black and the page is white. And say it 3 times. The letters are black,
the page is white.
The letters are black, the page is white.
The letters are black and the page is white.
Open your eyes, wave the page, and look at the print. How does it look right now?
It's clear now.
Now look at the second paragraph. Do you see the spaces between the words?
Yes.
Keep waving. Do you see the spaces between the letters?
Yes.
Do you see the spaces between the lines?
Yes.
Close your eyes and say, the ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white. The ink is black, the page is white. The ink is black, the page is white.
Now look at the third paragraph. Do you see the spaces between the words?
Yes.
Do you see some spaces between letters?
Yes.
Can you see some letters?
Again, barely.
Barely. Close your eyes. You don't have to wave the page again. The ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white.
And if you can visualize it, you don't have to say it. The ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white. The ink is black, the page is white.
Now open your eyes and wave again. How does it look?
It's better.
Good. Look at the lower paragraph. Do you see the spaces between the words?
Yes.
Do you see the spaces between the lines?
Yes.
Can some letters surface up?
Again, it's barely.
Okay, close your eyes. And don't wave. And visualize that the letters are black and the page is white. And for those who can't visualize, say it.
The letters are black,
the page is white.
The letters are black, the page is white.
The letters are black,
the page is white.
Wonderful. Now wave again and look at those letters. Is there more contrast?
Yes.
Now look at the dinky, smallest letters. Look at the spaces between the words. Look at the spaces between the lines. Close your eyes and say, the ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white. The ink is black, the page is white. Now wave your page again. How does it look to you right now?
More contrast.
Now take a look at the big print. How does it look now?
It's much better, much more clear than before.
Wonderful. How does the flower look to you right now?
It's got more contrast, more coloration.
Wonderful. And let's take the page off. And now tell me, how do the letters look to you this minute?
It's very clear.
And how does the flower look to you?
It's very beautiful.
This is exactly what balancing the eye means. You use the weaker eye and you put the stronger eye in the periphery. And after you do that, you see that your brain tends to look at small details with no effort. The biggest risk that you may have is that you'll create a great effort to see details. Don't worry about what you don't see. Just look at the smallest details that you do see and look at smaller details than those. The people who see the best in this world are people in primitive tribes, Bedouins in the desert, bush people in Africa, and they look far, and they look far without trying to see. When you were an infant, you looked only from 2 feet away at the age of 8 weeks. Then as you crawled and walked, you looked farther and farther without making any strain to see. Consequently, you got your great vision. When you lost it, you stopped looking at details, you just demanded from yourself to see them. So don't demand from yourself to see them, just look and make sure that you activate your weaker eye. Another great aspect of shifting is looking at different distances. Something should be really known to you about the physiology of the eye. The ciliary muscles that curve the lens work very hard to see from near, 20 feet or less. Anytime that you see 20 feet or more, the lens is flat and actually the eye is restful. Whenever you read, even if you read an eye chart from distance, and whenever you read the page from near, whenever you look at a computer, you should look far away. As humans, we didn't used to look so much from near until the last century. And so it's very important for us to look from far. And it's also important for you whenever you walk in the street to walk in a conscious way and look at many details. And now some exercises. Tony, could you please look far at these beautiful mountains and hills? Can you describe me what you're seeing in them?
I can see the trees, the dry grass with brown color, house in front of me, some cows.
Wonderful. How many cows, do you know?
1 or 2.
Okay. Now, let's repeat the exercise we did before. Put the piece of paper between your eyes, and let's give you a piece of paper to wave, and wave in front of the right eye while looking with your left. And if in your case, it's your left eye which is the strong eye, wave in front of the left and look with the right. But you always wave in front of the strong eye to put it in the periphery while it's always in the center. And the idea is that you give freedom to the weak eye to work. And you wave and wave and wave and wave and wave. And do you still see all that you saw with both eyes? Or is it fuzzier?
It's fuzzier.
What do you see now?
You can still see the tree, the dry grass, and the house.
Wonderful. I want you to point at 6 different points that you're looking at with your finger as a pointer, and you look at point A, B, and C, and so on. Point at 6 different points, and then point at 6 different points at half the distance, and then point at 6 different points close to you. And again, look far away, engage with that area, and point at 6 different points. This is shifting for you. As you point at those 6 different points, you're starting to focus on what you can see with your weaker eye. When the weaker eye is not working, the stronger eye works very hard to suppress whatever the weaker eye is seeing, which weakens the strong eye and weakens the weak eye. When the weak eye works, then the strong eye will become stronger, and also the weaker eye will become stronger. Now, how do you see the distance right now, Tony?
It's got more contrast.
More contrast in it.
Yes.
Right? Take the paper off now, and tell me, how does the heel look to you?
It's better contrast, more clear, just more pleasant, more clear to see.
Wonderful. Put right now the eye patch over your strong eye. And one thing that Tony does, and I want you to do, is 5 minutes, 4 times a day, patch your strong eye to let your weak eye work. Doctors have given up on us, and they said that only kids can improve weaker eyes by patching the strong. But I disagree. I found that adults like Tony, like myself, and many other people, by patching the strong eye, are capable of activating the weaker eye. Now take a look again at the heel. How does the heel look to you?
It's less clear with the patch. Yeah.
With the patch. And so you're looking at the heel, and again point at 6 different points at the heel. And look half distance and point at 6 different points at half distance. And look from near. To just get your brain to focus where your vision is fuzzy. And again, look far away. Close your eyes. You can take the hand off and visualize that the colors are in more contrast. The brightness, the bright part of the heel is brighter, the dark is darker, and the sky is bluer. Just visualize contrast, and that visualization becomes a direct order from your brain to your eye. Now open your eye and take a look at it again. How does the top of the heel look to you?
It's brighter with better contrast.
Brighter with better contrast. Now, as a transition, take the patch off and put the piece of paper between your eyes and wave in front of the strong eye while looking with the weaker eye at the heel. How does the weaker eye see right now?
I can see the tree, I can see the ridge top, but less clear comparing to both eyes.
Right. Close your eyes, and again, visualize without waving that you're waving in front of the right eye, or in your case in front of the left eye if the left eye is stronger, and that you're looking at different parts of that heel. That the heel is very bright in the bright parts, dark in the dark parts, and that the sky is bluer. And now wave your hand again and tell me, how does the heel looks to you?
See a better contrast.
Wonderful. Now let's take the paper off, and how does the heel looks right now?
It's real bright.
Real bright. Is it clear?
It's clearer than before, with I can see clear brownish color of the dry land and greenish trees, blue skies. The whole thing just getting bright. Yeah.
Wonderful. One thing that you should know, that when you look at big and small print, when you look at a chart, and then you look far away, and then you look back at the big and small print, your eye is rested from looking far, and it will see much better what's in front of you and what's nearer.
The following exercises, sunning and skying, involve adjusting your eyes to bright daylight. Because we spend so little time outdoors, Our pupils have lost some of their flexibility. Instead of our pupils contracting, we tend to squint when we go outside. Sunning and skying will acclimate your eyes to brighter light, retrain your pupils to dilate and contract appropriately, and make you less likely to squint or need sunglasses. When doing the sunning exercise, please be careful to keep your eyes closed. And when doing the skying exercise, please don't look in the direction of the sun.
Let me introduce you to the practice of sunning. Sunning is a very important practice, and it has to be done correctly. It will wake up your eye to life. It will wake up the macula to life, which is the central part of the retina, and it will contract your pupils. It will help you very much in the practice of shifting. Because if you adjust to strong light and adapt to strong light, you have a stronger eye that will naturally look at details. Tony, close your eyes very gently, as if you're just closing them before you go to sleep, and move your head all the way from side to side. Take a look at Tony's movement. It is full. It is all the way from side to side. Some of you would be able to move the neck simply so well that your chin moves from shoulder to shoulder. Many others would need to move the shoulders a bit. Let me show you how you don't do it. Don't move your head from side to side. Don't move ear to shoulder, but only chin to shoulder. So don't do this, but do that. Move your head all the way from side to side. Pay attention to the warmth of the sun. Relax your face. Relax your eyelids. And just know that your pupils contract as you look straight at the sun and expand as you look away from the sun. And both pupils contract together and expand. Contract and expand. You breathe deeply and slowly. This is the most important part of the exercise that you want to do no less than 5 minutes a day, and you want to do averagely 20 or 25 minutes a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and maybe for a short time during the day. It will really strengthen your eyes. And here are some additions. Rub your hands, Tony, as you keep moving the head from side to side. And Tony is doing it just right. He keeps moving the head from side to side as he rubs his hands. Do not stop your head from moving. That would be wrong for the eyes. Now turn around and palm. Put your hands around the eye orbits, and not for a long time, for about 3 or 4 deep breaths. And you can see how darker the palming is right now after being exposed to the sun. Now take your hands off, look at the sun, and now move your head all the way from side to side. Breathe slowly. Breathe deeply. Breathe into your lower abdomen without any tension. And good addition is massage the eyebrows when you get to the side. So when you get to the right side, you massage the right eyebrows. When you get to the left, you massage the left eyebrows. I don't want you to squint in the sun. I want you to relax in the sun. In fact, Dr. Bates said that our choice is to squint or to see well. If you won't squint in the sun, you will wake up hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of cells in your retina, in the macula, precious cells that can help you see very well. And take a look at how beautifully Tony is doing it. He's doing it gently, and he's doing it with the correct hands. The left hand with the left eye, the right hand with the right eye, and only when he moves all the way to the side and not when he looks in the middle. So he does not disturb himself from seeing the sun but he's really stretching his muscles, the lower muscles of the forehead and the muscles of the eyebrows, so they will not squint. Then, Tony, rub your hands again and keep moving the head from side to side, and you can see that much more sun is coming to your eyes. Turn around and palm. Visualize as if you're seeing darkness. And probably right now it's much easier for you to see darkness than before. Then, when you take your hands off again, as you should do right now, and you move your head from side to side, you can see much brighter sun. And when you will see brighter sun, you will see much, much better. I want to introduce to you the exercise of skying. When you have no sun, you still want to adapt very vigorously to the daylight. It will help to activate your pupils and contract them. It will also help to your macula to wake up, and it will help your shifting exercises. Take a look at how we do it. We open the eyes and we don't close them. We blink at the sky, and many of you will find that you're squinting when you do that. So the solution is stretch your hand, and with the base of the fingers, the edge of the metacarpal bones, you put one hand behind your head, one hand on the forehead. The hand behind your head will be clawed, like a claw. And you put one hand on your forehead and you move the head from side to side and you blink at the sky. Blink. Blink softly, but blink very quickly. Whether the sky are blue, whether the skies are cloudy, blink and blink and blink and adapt and adjust to the sky. Blink and blink and blink and blink and blink as you're looking at the sky, and you're going to find that it becomes easier for you to then look at details. When you stop doing the skying, just look at some details and you're going to see that they're much clearer. Let's do long swing. Long swing is one of the basic exercises within the Bates method. And it was a great exercise that did few things. It helped you adapt to more light. It also helped you have a sense of movement. Look at your finger and move from side to side and imagine or think as if everything that you see moves opposite than the way you move. Just like a train ride. When you sit in a train, even though everything stands still, you think that everything moves opposite than the way that you move. So you look straight at your finger and you think that everything moves opposite of the finger you're focusing on. You can look up at your finger and down on your finger, see the nail, the middle of the finger, the base, and at the same time you see that everything moves opposite. You can also close your eyes and visualize as if everything moves opposite than your finger while your eyes are closed. Remember all the details that you saw. The details to the left and the details to the right and to the middle. So again, when you open the eyes, when you move to the right, everything moves to the left. When you move to the left, everything moves to the right. And we can do exactly an opposite exercise. You put the finger horizontally and you move up and down. And as you move down, everything seems to move up. And as you move up, everything seems to move down. And you move up and down, up and down, imagining as if everything moves opposite than the way that you move. When you look up, everything moves down. When you look down, everything moves up. That will give you the sense of movement. And now, I'll move up with my finger and then down. I'll move up with my finger and then down. Up and down, and I'll keep moving my finger up, and when I move up, I think as if everything moves opposite than me. When I move down, I'll think the same. So when I look up to the right, I think that everything moves down to the left. When I look down, I think that everything moves up to the right. Up to the left, I think everything moves down to the right. When I move down, I think everything moves up to the left. Up and down the same way. Then I look straight at my finger again and move from side to side, and probably you can see already that it's easier for you to imagine or to sense that things are moving opposite than you, that every object that you look at does move opposite than you. And right now, look at the sky again and do the skying and blink. And when you do the skying and blink, you can see that it's much easier for you to absorb the strong skylight. Breathe deeply and slowly. With one hand, you put pressure on your forehead, and with the other hand, you put pressure on the back of your head. You blink and breathe as you look up at the sky.
If you only learn to relax your eyes and to pay attention to them, and not only to use them as if they're tools for purpose, but to look at them as a very precious gift that you maintain. And you will always relax them. You'll always compensate for effort that they make by putting your eyes away from the book momentarily and look far away, by paying attention to the periphery. You sense when they get tired and you take care of the fatigue. Then you have really benefited from doing this work. No matter how much you improve and no matter how much time you have, if you only have 5 minutes at this part of your life, spend those 5 minutes taking care of them. Palm a minute, an hour in your workplace, or lie down and put a nice hot towel over your eyes and rest them. Take care of them. They deserve your attention.